course, I am Wanda Prowl, host of the Ever Better Talk Show, family and human development educator, and certified or early childhood education family consumer science high school teacher. Yeah, that teacher in me had to kick in there because we just don't stop. Whatever's going on, we persevere to do to meet the challenge. That's who I am, and that's what we do. But yes, I am a home economics teacher, and I've taught students child development, parenting, home living skills, nutrition and wellness, prenatal care, all the relationship issues. So what you hear me share with you, or this is what I've been doing for years, and I love communicating and connecting with families and students. Well, on the Ever Better Talk Show today, I will always bring you bi-weekly real life strategies and resources for teen parenting, not teen pregnancy, but teen parenting. And teen parenting is a much larger picture because, it only takes a few seconds for conception to take place, but it takes a lifetime to rear children. Well, my goal today, my friend, my goal is to never ever tell you what to do. You are adults, and I respect that. So I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm just here to provide you as parents some strategies and some supplementary resources for you to become proactively engaged with your team, for building positive self-esteem, and offering parenting strategies that create problem-solving or solutions for teens, for them becoming successful students or adults and parents. Your team, my friend, parents, your team will not be with you all the time. As parents, we know that our children will not be with us all the time. Therefore, it is imperative that we provide them solutions and make them strong for their journey. I welcome you or your comments. Please give me your comments. I can see my bar there. Give me comments. Yes, it's okay to not agree with me. It's okay to give me new information, and that's what a community of learners do. We share and we learn from each other. But I do want you to take the time to go in and tag some friends now, because you know some friends, some parents who are parents of teens and junior highs too, junior high and teens. Go on and tag them or let them know that we are on the live show and the real talk. We're going to have real talk today as we explore sexual. They usually get my students' attention then. Sexual challenges of teens. After this show, parents, I am dependent on you to create opportunities of communication between you and your teens. Well, this is a great week for the Ever Better Talk Show. You have the benefit today of hearing three, not one, but three topics in one. Yet today is a triple dipper day just for you. You get to hear the why, the how, and the what. The why, the how, and the what. Remember, last week was why teens get pregnant. But this week, my friend, today's topic is why should teens wait to become parents? And I did promise three. So the other two, the remaining two, are how teens can fend for themselves while waiting to become adult parents. And the last one, third one, is we want to talk about the benefits. Every professional or just any type of job that we find ourselves or working, we want to know the benefits. What do I get from the deal? Well, we are going to share those with the team, and I hope that you will share them with your team so they'll know that, hey, it is going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth the wait. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, but I want to share with you a quote in my research I found very interesting. In this quote from the National Research Council, and this quote says, "The adolescent male has been ignored in previous reviews and discussions of adolescent pregnancy since teen pregnancy and child rearing has traditionally been viewed as a female issue." And we know that pregnancy is not a female issue. But the response we're getting from our media or from the research or that's what they have. And they have that because, and there's a lot of variables that are contributes to this. But anytime there is research, they have to collect the samples and the reporting, and somehow the validation for the males has not been consistent. Well, we are going to do a better job of that with the Ever Better Talk Show. And that's why this particular show is so, so, so important. I am speaking the language of teens. I am speaking the language of parents. So let's walk together. Well, before we do that, let me remind you, many of you may have the Next Flat TV channel, Next Flat. And if you don't, you may be able to Google it. But the movie is Freshman Year. Freshman Year. You want to watch that. You will watch it over and over and over again, because everything that we're going to cover today, it is going to give you a real life, up to date. They're even wearing the face mask with the COVID, so you know we're up to date. Parenting, male teen parenting through challenges or through college scholarship. And you'll get a chance to see how the families of both parents are working together so that they get to finish college. So go there, put it on the back burner, make sure you watch it. Okay, well, I am so serious and adamant about the success of teens and family that I know that within my own knowledge that I am, I don't have the knowledge. I'm not God. We make plans, but stuff always happens. You know that. So let's just pray with me just for a few minutes, to just allow the Lord to give reverence to Him for the guidance, for the success of our children. Lord, we thank you for our children and health and strength to be together as a family in such a time as this. Through it all, Lord, we thank you for giving us another opportunity to make it right. Help us, Lord, to be the family that brings you glory. Forgive us for any sins, Lord, and give us empathy. Oh, I stand with you, parents. Lord, give us empathy. Give us wisdom. Give us discernment to meet the needs of our children. Amen. Okay, thank you. Now, keep in mind, teens are drawn by examples, not words. They are drawn, we get their attention. It becomes meaningful when they see it in action, not just words. So if you tell them something, a lot of people have been talking about this X generation. There's nothing wrong with it. I love this generation. But I tell you what, we're in the age of accountability. We just can't tell them anything and expect for them to progress. But if they see you're serious, if they see if you just mean to do the right thing, oh, they with you. But if you try to play them crazy now, you got a problem. We got a problem. If they think you're trying to play them crazy, whether it's at church, whether it's at home, whether it's at school, whatever the case may be, you're trying to play them crazy, just like, do what I say and not what I do. That's not going to work. But I'm telling you, once they realize that you're trying to do the right thing, oh, they'll fight for you. We don't want them to fight, but they say they'll fight for you. Okay, walk with me here. There are three major factors for why teens should wait to become parents. And I have to say that because you think that they all want to wait. No, 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 no. They all don't want to wait. Some of them are yearning for that live-like doll, which is not a doll. But let's just walk with me right now for a minute. The risk factors. There are three major risk factors. Three major risk factors for why teens should wait to become parents. Now, when I say risk, that denotes, and you know this as parents, but as you and your teens are watching this, something bad can happen, something serious can happen, something dangerous can happen. The health could be at stake. Your life could be at stake. So when we say risk, pregnancy is not sex, even though sex produces a pregnancy. If fertilization takes place. But those are two separate things. And in their mind, they're thinking it all starts out as being just one. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I cannot tell you, you know this already, parents, how many innocent, sweet young girls, students, some of them was average size and some was, a little heavy, and then some might have been just almost, you want to say, just skinny. But I loved them and they were healthy. But the bottom line, when pregnancy took place, pregnancy does not discriminate. The risk factor will present themselves to all the young ladies. And the fun is over. Now it's serious business. Well, let's consider the mother's lack of early prenatal care. Now, I've been stalked just for a few minutes and getting this show started. So if it get to be a little long, I understand, but we're being recorded, and you can replay and stop anytime that you desire. It's still going to be up on my post, so just bear with me, and you can follow along and replay whenever you need to. That's the most important thing. But the mother's lack of early prenatal care. Well, the reality is that some of the students don't understand the word prenatal. What is prenatal care? Some of them have been actively sexually, but they are not thinking the possibility of pregnancy. And if they are, they're in denial. Some of them are fearful. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know how to share with their parents. There are some of them who have been studious and they have academic goals. They don't that they're frantic. They don't understand, what am I going to do? And the lack of knowledge, and most of all, they have no one to talk to except who? Some of their friends. And what do you think their friends are going to tell them to do? Hearsay, hearsay, hearsay. The most damaging health information you can imagine. So that's why parents, we have got to bridge the bridge of communication, bridge the gap of communication so that we will be there to nurture our teens with unconditional love. So let me share this with you. I've done my research again. I wanted to update it. I know it already, but I updated it to make sure we're in the 2020. Teens younger than 15 years old are especially vulnerable to anemia or low iron and pregnancy-related high blood pressure. They think that's an old folks thing. High blood pressure? Yes, high blood pressure is very critical and dangerous during pregnancy. Pregnant teens 15 to 19 years old develop anemia more so than the women who are 20 to 44 years of age. It is imperative for girls to seek out qualified prenatal care to ensure they are receiving adequate intakes of nutrients, prenatal vitamins, and to prevent iron and other nutritional deficiency. Well, go back and think about the diet of teens. Think about the diet of teens. We're going to come back to this. Just be thinking about what do they like to eat? What do they like to cook? Well, here's a warning to you parents. When you're a teen, well, not when you're a teen. Let's say you're having those proactive discussions. You know, when you like just sitting around the house, you may see a TV show that has a certain scene and you just give, I will call them free comments. Please be empathetic and use wise words when you have proactive discussions and giving casual comments regarding your position for having a pregnant male or female child in regards to race of the partner, shelter, like where y'all gonna live? You ain't staying here. Or disown. When you teach or work with students, you have an opportunity to deal with students in many crisis kind of situations. And believe me, this is a major one for a teen who's in school. Disown. Be careful and guard your words. How you give free information on how you would file legal charges. Be careful how you communicate mandatory abortions. And the list goes on. Because sometimes when parents are just talking, just casually, because the situation has not presented itself yet, so you just almost like, I won't say running off at the mouth, but just kind of sharing some free information. That information is going to stay in your teen's head, and not knowing what their actual activities are. And if something should happen, if a pregnancy should occur, they are going to remember everything you said. They're going to take that to heart. And before you know it, they may have some very serious, take some very serious actions and taking what you said to heart, not knowing that could be a possibility that you would give reconsideration. In other words, suicide, running from home, all those things happens when fear embarks their heart, depending on what your goals were for them and what your family lifestyle is like. Yes, in your discussion, it is important that you have countless sunny days conversations so that they will fully understand your values and goals for them. But also they are able to trust your unconditional love for them with accountability and guidance. Mothers already know that prenatal stage can be a very sensitive, trying, emotional time for everyone. Gestational hypertension or high blood pressure is a critical concern for the health and life of the mother and child, even when it is not hereditary. They'll go like, nobody in my family has high blood pressure. The mom go, I don't have high blood pressure. But when a young lady is pregnant, her body goes through a lot of changes that perhaps, or and all mothers can say this, things you never knew would happen. Your body start reacting in various type ways. So, mothers, be empathetic to your daughters and be empathetic to your sons when they should find themselves in these situations. Well, when they are alone, or teens have no idea what their pregnancy or social life will look like. They are remembering the average class day when they're having fun with their friends. And I remember specifically, I've seen students where there were groups, maybe 3 girls or 4 guys or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line, when one of the students became pregnant, everybody went their separate ways. And you can kind of understand it a little bit because they have different goals and values, right? At that time. But the one who's pregnant, a lot of health issue becomes on the scene. Her schedule's going to change. So she's going to experience an excessive amount of loneliness. Or her friends, or whether it's the girl, the guys, the sweetheart, the schoolwork, everything is going to be coming down on her at the same time. She's going to have the physical changes, the biological changes, the morning sickness, the tiredness, and all those things that happen. And then the young man, even though he's not going to be experiencing the same changes, but my goodness, he's going to be having a time with his emotions, his thought patterns. Who is going to tell the parents? Well, the next question is that, does the parents even know who their friend, partner, who they are? Have they ever met them? Are they strangers? Well, this is my purpose for the Ever Better Talk Show. It's so that parents will begin to cultivate the relationship on sunny days. Sunny days, so that when an issue arises, your child, your teen, your sometime preteen will come to you first. Okay? Well, after the risk to the mother, let's just talk about the baby, the fetus. They call it fetus, but I still say baby. And before we go a little bit further in this, multiple birth, the assumption in your conversation with your child on your sunny day, sofa type conversation, help them to be to have illuminating thoughts. The assumption is whenever they see their friends, with impregnant, they think it's going to be a single child. My goodness, no. It's not determined by your size. You could be a size 2. You may be a size 5, 6, 7, 14, 16. Some young ladies will conceive a single conception. They will have a single child, twins, or triplets. Let them understand what the reality, what the real picture could be like. And they may spend that time alone from all the friends. It'll just be them and mama, them and their family. Help them understand the risk beyond those few pleasurable moments. Let's move forward. Number 2. Why should teens wait to become pregnant? Number 1, we talked about the 3 major risks. The risk of the mother lack of prenatal care. And number 2, the health risk for the baby. The risk of not having prenatal care. You know, prenatal care is very essential in the early stages of pregnancy. But during that time, they are in denial. So the child during those early developmental stages are going without the nutrients that he or she needs, because they're still dealing with the shock of the pregnancy. But the risk of not having prenatal care, plus, this is the Ever Better Talk Show. We're talking about real issues. Not only are they not taking advantage of prenatal care, plus smoking, yes. Drinking, yes. Social drugs. That doubles the risk of having a low birth weight baby. Smoking also increases the risk of pregnancy complications. They go like, complication? What type of complications? All you do is get pregnant and, 9 months you have the baby. The baby's born. That's it. No complications. Parents, in this 20th century that we're living right now, in the 21st century, where there's Google and YouTube, you can put any title you desire into your search bar. And you and your child can set up and watch it just like you might have done in an old school classroom. Please do that. They need to see it. Complications. What a premature baby looks like. Stillbirth. They go like, huh? What's stillbirth? They need to know this. There's a difference between sexual activity and pregnancy. A premature birth or a preemie, they need to understand, they don't understand these terms. The conversation that we have in a normal day, we think nothing of it. But all those are terms that they do not understand. We've got to take baby steps as we train them, and as we're training them, we'll have them by our side. We are doing the show and tell. There may be family members or anyone who works in the profession, the healthcare profession. Give them as much realistic visuals, conversation, testimony, interviews, and it will help them a whole lot if the adult females and males would just break it down and just share with them that their real life struggle that they had while they were their age and even not that far ago. But it would be so helpful to them to understand how to how to how to how to how to how to absorb the information in realistic principles. Okay, a preemie baby, a preemie. You know, many times young ladies, even adults, they think a premature baby is a baby that is born, maybe 6 months, 7 months, 5 months, things of that nature. Or they think it's like not the ninth month. But I want you to know that a premature baby is a baby who has not completed 37 weeks of pregnancy. But get this now, full-term pregnancy is 40 weeks. 40 weeks is a full term, and 37 is a preemie. Well, my goodness, this child could be born within the ninth month and not serve the last 2 weeks term and still be considered as a preemie. Well, the term preemie is not just a category. The term preemie denotes there are some developmental stages that has not taken place or in the last few minutes of pregnancy that will cause that child to grow up healthy. A preemie, a premature baby, will miss out on the important growth and development that take places in the final week of pregnancy and often suffer health problems because their organs, all their organs, from their brain to their lung to their heart to their digestive system, all of their organs are often, they will suffer health problems because their organs did not sufficiently develop properly. And these includes, and when I taught this in school, by the time we started talking about stuff like this, they start raising their hand. They go like, that's not true. My cousin had her baby at 5 months or 6 months, and they just as healthy as they want to be. She's a cute little girl too. That's what they say, because they're because they are only looking at the outward appearance. They'll look at those little pretty hair bows. They'll look at those little pretty outfits, not having any idea what the internal developmental stages of the child look like. Parents, please, ma'am. Please, ma'am. And even dads. The dads are included. And you're going to hear this as we continue this talk show today, because there are dads who are the primary parent of daughters. Mom may be deceased, well, the case may be, but when you are a parent, you're no longer in a courtship. You are responsible for the educating and the care of both sexes, your boys and your girls. So yes, dads need to know this. But let me just go back and share with you some of the health or problems, issues that a preemie baby may have when not fully developed. Cerebral palsy, we hear that all the time. And you're able to identify these, because when I talk, we discuss each one of these defects and health issues. They need to know what this look like. They need to know. Oh my goodness, I almost said, bless the Lord, hallelujah. They need to know that when this baby is dressed up like downtown or going to church, this is a different baby when this baby is sick. Their tolerance, their patience, they have got to be able to be calm and nurturing to the child. Again, Why? Why should teens wait for pregnancy? For one, just to sleep at night. They need to understand you're not going to get any rest. Breathing problem and asthma. There's so much information that is involved in parenting. Medication, food allergies, breathing, feeding difficulties. A child who's not fully developed, who's a preemie, who's developed less than 40 weeks, feeding problems. When babies are fed, well, they can tell you, you already know that they're not to be given solid foods before 1 year old, because some people sneak and do it, but they're going to develop a lot of health issues and allergies if you do that. But let's just talk about regular formula. The digestive system of babies, if that baby, or you just like you give them the bottle, by the time you give them the bottle, they spit it up, they spit it up, they spit it up, they spit it up. There is irregulations within the digestive tracts, and you have to set that baby up in a positioning at a certain angle, just so that the milk can go down into the baby's stomach and remain there. And you have to be patient enough to birth the baby. And we're going to be talking about all this. How do you properly birth a baby? You know, why do we birth a baby? The importance of it. But then, they go back to the diet. And sometimes they just can't hold the food on their stomach. But a lot of these, oh my goodness, a lot of these developmental challenges, if not corrected, or if parents don't understand how to care for their children, or they go on into adulthood. There are many adults who have some of the same health issue as they were when they were preemie. They just learn how to care for themselves. Serious intestinal problems. Well, one other thing is that sometimes teens feel like, once the once the child has been birthed in the hospital, it's just a matter of a few days and we going home, But no, that could be serious internal issues, health issues with the baby, where the baby is going to require. They need to know that the pediatrician is the baby doctor, they call it. The pediatrician or two separate doctors. The mom has a doctor and then the pediatrician. But that child can have an humongous medical hospital bill for caring for health issues beyond just birthing. Developmental delay. That is another health or complications from a premature baby. Developmental delays. Well, I'm not going to try to take the time and reteach parents. I don't want to disrespect you, but you'll be able to go back and identify these terms. You can pull them up on Google, and you all can have a great discussion. But just developmental delay. I remember there was one child. The child was 3 years old and not walking, where the average child began to take a few steps or pulling up or something, by the 9th month. But the developmental delay means that your developments are delayed, is not on a regular course as normal children. So teens cannot be frustrated or compare their child with their friend's child. Parenting requires a lot of patience, and you must remain loving and kind to your child, no matter what somebody else's child is doing or look like. That's the glory of being a parent, because if nobody else loves you, mama loves you, and mom needs to be okay with that. And that's why we wait. That's one of the reasons why we wait, because it's going to require, oh my goodness, love and patience and more than you can get. So why you really going to have to pray too. Parenting is no joke. Parenting is not sex. And sex not all they think it is. But let's move forward. Mental retardation. Mental retardation. That's a possibility. And when you love your child, you don't give up on your child. You know, there are doctors who say that your child will never be able to do this, your child will never be able to do that. If you have the oh my goodness, if your commitment and your heart is in the right place, you love your child, it is amazing the progress that child will make just by having you being willingly there and available. You don't get tired. You don't get embarrassed. I can tell you, they love me to share these stories. I'm telling you that let me just go and share this with you. I'll just go and share this with you. You can turn it off and turn it back on when you get ready. But I remember many years ago, and we went to this church. And there was this lady, I won't call names, I won't call any names, but there was this lady, and she was really well dressed, and and when she brought her son, she had an autism son. She was all dressed up and sharp, but she sat her son down at the back of the church as like the first pew when you first walk in, and she walked on down to the front and looked just as free, cool, and calm. Well, the thing about it is that, and there he was drooling at the mouth, and all those things going on with him. Well, the thing about it, there was another lady who was looking, well dressed, a stranger. And she came over, she was wiping his mouth, she was showing him love and care. He was responding. But his mom left him at the back of the church. She was way down there. So, what am I trying to say? When conception takes place, you don't have a guarantee. You're in for the long haul. You're in for the money. Your child is more precious to you than anything. You love your mate, but hey, you can divorce your child. And adults, spouses, they have the ability to begin a new life and go on about their business. But your child, you need to be in a position where you are able to give unconditional love and patience for the rear of your child. Well, another one, bleeding in the brain, vision problems, or blindness. Yes. They need to know this is a possibility. Blindness, yes. Hearing problems, yes. Sudden infant death syndrome, yes. So why do you want to wait? You got to be prepared. You don't get any guarantees. You've got to be able to give your child whatever he needs, and that may mean, you may not have the freedom for your jobs. It may also affect. Get this, Miss 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 Most Popular. Look good, looking good, get any guy you want to in high school. But if you gave birth to a child who has developmental issues, how would that affect you and your love for your child versus the type of spouse or mate you may attract? How are you going to be with that? So why would you not spend your time investing in a good education so you'll be able to at least have some money coming in? Once you get your education and you are professionally employed, that's the best gift you can give yourself and your child. Well, let's move on. A low birth weight baby weigh less than 5.5 pounds. Some development infections or other illnesses in the first days of life, while others may suffer from long-term problems, including disabilities or delayed motor and social development. Delayed social development. I remember that word a minute ago. We talked about social drugs. Once a fetus brain has been affected by drugs and alcohol, those brain cells cannot be replaced. They cannot be replaced. The parent, the mother, may go through rehab and regain the ability to function in the world. But whatever, oh my goodness, whatever damage has been done to that child in the mother's womb while she's pregnant, that cannot be replaced. Never. When you see the behavior of children, everyone has some different personality. God gave us personality. But a child whose mother has been chemically induced during pregnancy, my heart goes out to that child. There are elements that will never be replaced. There will be only drugs given to suppress the behavior, but not to restore. So now, let's go back to parents now. That's why teen family, it is much more beneficial to be proactive. Have these kinds of conversations. Get close to your kids. Love them. Give them your time. Because, don't let me get ahead of myself. Let me just go on. Well, nearly 10% of teenage mothers deliver a low birth weight baby. Sadly, these babies are more than 20 times as likely to die in the first years of life versus a normal weight baby. Okay, we have just covered the health risks of the baby as being number 2. Number 1, the mother lack of prenatal care. And right now, the socioeconomic risk. Socioeconomic risks. These are the risks that teens take when they are teen parents rather than adult parents. Now I'm sharing this with you. I know that there are some teens who are pregnant already. And my hat goes off to them, because if they still have the baby, that means they have a gift from God. And they need all the support that they can, but accountability and responsibility is key. Accountability and responsibility, they're key. And we're going to address that. But the socioeconomic risk. Teenage pregnancy changes the entire course of a young lady's life, and often the life of her partner. The impact of their future is often negative. let me share with you some statistics that I found regarding this. You may agree, you may not agree, and I'm okay with you giving me comments. I'm okay. But I researched this, and this is what I found. Number one says that less than 2% of teen moms earn a college degree by age 30. Teens fathers tend to finish fewer years of school than do older fathers that are less likely to have a job. Teenage pregnancies are associated with an increased rate of delinquent behavior in the fathers, including alcohol and drug abuse, lower educational level, and reduction of future potential income. And this is reported by the CDC. About 25% of teen moms have a second child within 24 months of the first baby. Something's wrong with that. Mom, dads, about 25% of teens mom have a second child within 24 months of their first baby. Teenage mothers are more likely to live in poverty and are at risk of domestic violence. Here's another statistic. Children of teen parents are more likely to be neglected and abused. Their children, who's going to come and see about them? The time schedule, the overworked load of the mom. It takes two, not just to have the child, but to rear the child or to ensure the child's safety. Or you can have another supporting parent to help you. But this thing about 25% of teen moms have a second child within 24 months of the first baby. My question is that who's doing the work? Who's washing the diapers? You know, who's doing all the work? The real moms go like, I can't even sit down 5 minutes to take a break. So how this time come into play? Well, another statistic is children of teens mothers have increased incidents of trouble in school or with the law. Let me read that again. Children of teenage mothers have increased incidents of trouble in school or with the law. Discipline, setting boundaries. It's work being a parent. Tough love. You got to set some rules down. Well, the conversation, moms and dad. And then again, they learn not only from guidance, but they learn by examples. It's not too late. It's not too late. With everything that's going on in our world, when we come out of this COVID-19, it's going to be a blessed time for everybody to get on a whole new trailblazer. So why not use this time to reconnect with family and values? And most of all, the teen family. The teen family. The teen family. Economics does not affect family. Economics make you grow stronger and tighter together. Yes. Well, here's another statistic. Boys born to teenage mothers are 3 times more likely to be incarcerated during adolescence than sons of mothers who delayed childbearing. Hmm. Boys born to teenage mothers are 3 times more likely to be incarcerated during adolescence than sons of mothers who delayed childbearing. So, you know, oh, maybe because she delayed or she is in her later adult. She's at a point right now where she kind of mean what she say. She's at a point right now, she's probably going to keep up with you. She's probably at a point right now where she has invested in you and she's adamant about your success. And sometimes, teens just may not be at that stage right then. They love you. Between the teen and the grandma, hey, key word, accountability now. Accountability, responsibility. Accountability, responsibility. Before pregnancy, you might have had the freedom to do this and this and this and this. But now you got a baby. Has your lifestyle changed? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Girls born to teenage mothers are 22% more likely to become teenage mothers. I'll read that again. Girls born to teenage mothers are 22% more likely to become teenage mothers. Well, to wrap this up, for high-risk teen pregnancy, no matter how mature or responsible a teenage girl is, the fact is that most teens have not yet acquired the necessary life skills and positive parenting habits needed to handle the stress of birthing and raising a child. Well, let's look at some interventions here. Early intervention is a parent's most valuable and effective resource. Have you ever wondered why a newborn automatically knows everyone in the household? Just came from the hospital. The child is friendly with the sibling voices. The infant has bonded with their voices and personality throughout the 9 months. You can talk to the mother's adamant. You can, talk to the baby. They hear your voice. They learn you. So by the time they're born, they're birthed into the world, they already know you. They're comfortable with you. So association is very, 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 very important. So what we do or doing prenatal is very, very important. The painful reality, my friend, is that during these dramatic, crucial times, parents are traumatized with guilt, blame, and disappointment. When the parent gets the news, my child is pregnant, they're traumatized, they're frustrated, they're guilt, blame, and disappointment. And during this time, it may appear that the pregnant teen failed you as a parent. But this is the Elevator Talk Show. Keeping it real for issues of the heart for the young and wise. Parents, my dear parents, I'm a parent too. Your kid didn't fail you. But in reality, we may have failed them. Did we focus on their wants more so than their needs? Did we prioritize our schedule to meet their physical, emotional, and social cry for help? How many times did we allow them to have artificial entertainment to replace the parent, creating a personal relationship with them? Matthew's, my friend, Matthew 12:29 states, or else how, or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Parents, dads, you are the gatekeeper of your home and family. Mark 3:27 says the exact same thing. But Luke 11:21 says, when a strong man, armed, keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. Parents, give them you. You got to do it early. You got to do it early. So many things are in our society right now. If you wait too late, your child will want to turn around, but it will be almost impossible for them to do it. Give them your time and your dedication while there's time for them to grow. And you can grow together. Give them you from birth. Supervise, engagement, lots of conversation, setting boundaries, and making them accountable always. Making them accountable. Make you their protective shield. When everyone else tries to harm them, they'll know you got their back. Creating an environment for positive relationship is a game changer. Whoever children's honor, that's who they want to please. A relationship. If they honor you, feel good about you, they believe in you, if they trust in you, they want to please you. Early is the birth key. Start immediately before the strong man can get to them. Temptation to overtake them in their distress. The enemy can easily detect children. Know this. The enemy can easily detect children and teens who are hurting and befriend them with counterfeits and promised lies. Nothing, absolutely nothing, destroys a child's life like domestic violence, alcohol, substance abuse, abandonment, loss of a parent, and physical abuse. Unmet needs will drive a teenager to engage in dangerous situations. Parents, be proactive before it's too late. If you are a Johnny-come-late parent for dramatic issues, I invite you, my friends, to seek the Lord for guidance and patience for the journey. Most of all, admit your failures and be there for the long haul for your children, for your teen male, your teen young lady, so that you can finish strong together. And oh, what a joy that will be. That would be such a joy. My mom, my parent, they didn't give up on me. My mom, my parent, they gave me strict guidelines. Oh, they may fuss right now, but they're going to love it later. Because you are the gatekeeper. The Lord tell us in Matthew 11:28-30, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, my sayings, my commandment, all that stuff you say you can't do. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest for your soul. For my yoke is easy and my burdens is light. You don't have to do it alone. The Lord don't expect for us to know everything. There's no way. Our parents didn't know everything. But there's one thing about it. When we reevaluate and assess our goals for our children and realize that we want more, we're not going to just let them just go down the drain. You know, I used to tell mine, everybody, no, I'm not everybody's parent. How many children in that classroom has your name? Oh, they're gonna love you later. They may not like it right now. Parenting is serious business. But now let me share this with you before we go. These are some common myths. These are things that people say that teens think they're true, but they're not. They're really, they're really lies. But some common myth that teens believe about pregnancy. Again, like I said before, they believe that whenever somebody get pregnant, that's going to be a normal birth, a single pregnancy. They believe that because a baby look healthy is normal. Some of them believe that a young lady, they believe that if they get pregnant by a young man, that is going to be their way of keeping the partner. You all need to have a very serious talk about that. That is the farthest thing from the truth. It doesn't work that way. And dads, dad can help us out in that, because some young men, for a lack of training and a lack of teaching, and for a lack of example too, they may think the more the merrier. That's not true. And so if that be the case, the other mom and dad, you got to train your child, your teenage young lady, for her to be goal-centered enough that she would know that she doesn't need to settle. And if she does settle, she needs to be very clear on what those consequences can look like. But no, you don't get pregnant. The married people have their challenges. And I can promise you, just having a child is not going to bring you close at all. Well, the young man will assume that, oh, yes, young man. We really do have some really nice young men. We really do. If you watch this movie, the one that I just shared with you on Netflix right now, the freshman, it's the freshman, the freshman year, that's what it is, the freshman year. You're going to see a very admirable young man. I mean, he just want to do the right thing. Well, the thing about it is too, if it's the young lady's body, she can choose to have an abortion if she wants to. So dads and moms, have the conversation with your son. If he values life, then, or not just life, but careers and all, the Bible says, be not unequally yoked, but they need to kind of understand how that plays into the game of parenting and child rearing. Because it can be a nightmare. It really can be a nightmare. Okay? But the next one is on the social life and schedule. It's going to change. Well, it was, for some, it would change. I know this young lady who became pregnant in high school. Her mom was there. I mean, her mom did it all. She, first the babysitting and while she went to school. But the minute she got out of school, it was her job to take care of the baby. And when it came for her to go to college, bless her heart, we were so glad she went to college. But on weekends, she came home. She came home, she washed those clothes, she fed her baby, she did whatever she needed to do to give her mom, a little break. Because a mom would let her go back to school, on college campus. But she let her know that she's a mom. That's responsibility. And the same thing is true for the males. And one of the, uh, for the families who have males who have children, he should not have a single appearance. He needs to have a father reputation, and he needs to have some fatherly accountability. And there are many opportunities that he can share for what that will look like. And we're going to be talking about these later. Okay, education, military, you know, um, your life changes once you become a parent. And some young ladies say this, I've heard them say this, and they could be 15, 16, even 14. But just the mere fact that they have birthed a child, they go like, I'm grown now, I've had a baby. They feel like they can be disrespectful, they can do whoever they want, I've had a baby. All those organs are still undeveloped within her own body. There are so many decisions and goals that she needs to make. Character is going to be very, very important. Respect. You really want to be respectful as a parent, because you're going to need the favor to move forward with your child. Moms can have the conversation to address what that would look like in the real world. My life and my responsibility would be the same as when I had a baby. You go out the party. Who's taking care of the baby? Does the baby know who mom is or who grandma is? Well, our present day society as a whole has not done a good job in preparing males to be fathers and household leaders. Traditional role modeling back in the day, women stayed and managed the home and cared for the children. In case of an emergency, the community and family ladies stepped in. The fathers didn't have to do anything. Boys didn't play with home living play items, in the little cooking centers. Men were not allowed to be in the delivery room, even for the birthing of their own children. But the reality is, my friend, because of the mobilization of today's society, families, parents, and schools must be more open in preparing and teaching adolescents and teens family survival skills. The young boys will welcome their preparedness for fatherhood if they hear live testimonies from committed men in how they are performing their family tasks. Team family, that's what I mean by team family. Like your football team, your basketball, it takes everybody working together. Team family provides the necessary care for their family 24/7, 365 days a week. Now, the question is how teens can fend for themselves when waiting to become adult parents. How teens can defend for themselves when they're waiting to become adults. Well, I've heard them say, how do you do this? How do you do this? Can't nobody live without, they come straight out and tell you. Can't nobody live without, having that sex, That's what they tell you. And some of the guys tell the girls too, you gotta have it. That's what they say. Well, I just want you to know that 2 Timothy, 2nd and 22nd, 2nd chapter and 22nd verse says, flee useful lust. Flee. Run. You want to stand around and look at it? You want to, let her, rub on you and touch on you? You think you're going to walk out of there then? Flee useful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord and of a pure heart. Those are the ones you can trust. Those are the ones you can trust. But I'm here to tell you, you got to run. You got to separate yourself. Many will say, I'm old enough, I'm old enough. I'm 18 years old. When they want to, watch those movies, when they want to have those conversations, they want to go those places, they'll say things like, I'm old enough. Well, all humans, parents, all humans respond to physical manipulation. Yes, they do. All humans. All humans respond to physical manipulation. Married, single, teens, get this, even small children, they respond to human flesh manipulation. Once a manipulation has been discovered, the child remembers. Yes, they do. They remember. And then the caregiver has to redirect the behavior with an activity. And guess what? It works. It works. Well, the Bible tells us to run. Don't hang around. And as we direct the behavior, children will understand some strategies for surviving useful lust. Parents must tell children to not allow. Is that something new? Parents must tell children to not allow any adults or peers to violate their integrity for self-preservation. Oh, I told you this is the Ever Better talk show. And everybody want to show their friend this new thing, if you know what I mean. Well, I'm old enough. Well, if you do, if you keep doing it, it's going to initiate something else. My question is or my statement is, if you want to be kept, if your goals are clear, if your expectations are sure, the Lord will help you make it, and you will be successful. And there's no such thing that you can't do it. And you will enjoy a successful life to the one that God has planned for you. or at least someone where you have the same equal values and goals. Well, but you got to do some things. Let's protect our eyes from the things we see. You can choose the movies you want to see. You can choose the pictures you want to look at, the websites you want to go to. Yeah, this is the Ever Better Talk Show now. With your ears, you can choose what type of music you want to listen to, the type of language. When you have those round tables type conversation, everybody want to tell like what they did last night. Yes. What is it that is manipulated? What are you feeding your body, your intellect? What are you feeding yourself? Whatever your goals are, that is the type of information you got to pour into, your system to be successful. Your appearance or clothing, your style of clothing, you know, you know, we're not having conversation on your preferences. You can choose whatever you like, and I respect that. But what is your goal? What is your goal? What is your mindset? Or body exposure? What is it? What is it that's going to initiate you wanting to manipulations? What is it? Environment? And here, it might be relatives, friends, whoever. If you're in a certain place and it doesn't make you feel a certain way, and if you feel like your body is responding in a way that's not going to be fruitful for you, then again, run. That means dismiss yourself. Or group versus private social moments. Group versus private social moment. If there's someone you like, you're attracted to, are you gonna engage in group entertainment or private? The lighted areas or the dark areas. And then are they suggesting it, or are you suggesting it? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? You are in charge of your own future. You can decide, and you have to be strong enough to make those kind of decisions. Or age-appropriate social events. We talk about the visual and the hearing. The home alone. Would you dare be home alone with the opposite sex and no one is there? And you feel like you're going to be okay? Parents, we can go on and on and on about this, but let's just go into the benefits, because the benefits are beyond, and you cannot imagine what you've never seen. But we need to have some victorious youth and adults, because there are some. And we don't have time right now. I can share some things with you. And just because you do the right thing, just because you do the right thing does not mean you will not have life's challenges. But I can tell you one thing. When you do the right thing, you will have a joy and you will have a blessing beyond compare. Well, let me just say this. Once a team commit themselves by the help of the Holy Spirit, and parents commit themselves by the help of the good Lord, and for being committed to their children, who benefits most? Well, let's just wrap this up. Who benefits most? Number one is going to be you and your family, the parent right now. Your parent and your teen, male, female, and your younger children. Because you would have had a chance to with your hard work and your earning, you had a chance to spend that time together and conversations together. You would get a chance to just learn and be taught so much because you have that uninterrupted time together. When you get ready to go, everybody just go. You don't have to worry about the babysitter or whatever it is that you need to do. You have that time. You and your immediate child right now. That's who's going to benefit. And of course, that goes along with spouse. The second person who's going to benefit is going to be your adult child, who's going to be your now adult male or female child, because they have waited and they have invested within themselves. Now they, oh my goodness, they are going to be able to have a discretionary mate. They're going to be able to choose the mate that is going to complement their goals and values. And there won't be any struggle. And because they are together as a team, that means mom and dad, who may be grandparents now, are going to be really able to enjoy it because everybody has the time. You're free. You know, whether or not, or all the time you were going, visiting the colleges and things of that nature. But now the wedding, she or he is able to have discretionary selection of a mate. Nothing left over. No problems. They get to choose. That's a good place to be. Now, even if you get a divorce later, nothing compares with it. Life doesn't come with guarantees, but if you do the right thing, you're going to benefit. And the very last one, the next generation. Now, if the parent and the spouse has poured into the teen, the male and the female teen right now, and those teens grow up to be adults, and those adults has selected a discretionary mate who has the same value, and now when they have children, oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine what Thanksgiving is going to be like with those grandchildren? What Christmas is going to be like? It'll be like Christmas all through the year. It'll be like Thanksgiving all through the year. Birthday all through the year. Again, does life give you a guarantee? No. There may be death, there may be accident, all that kind of stuff's going to give you. But the bottom line, when you lay down and sleep at night, you're going to remember, oh, but I did my homework. But I did my homework. And it feels so, oh, thank you, Lord. It's for real. It's for real. And all those ones who were giving you problems, who talked about you, who joked you, who picked at your kids. Maybe they want to say you were being too strict. Maybe they were saying they had to come home early. Oh, what would they be doing now? You just smile. Thank you, Lord. There is nothing more rewarding than being a dedicated, God-fearing, dedicated parent.